Welcome to The Explainer. Do you ever feel like your money just kind of vanishes, no matter how hard you try to hold on to it? Well, today we're going to break down how you can actually take control of your finances in a world that is expertly, and I mean expertly, designed to make you spend. And here's the secret. It's not about being restrictive. It's about finding freedom.
Okay, let's just dive right into it with this quote because it perfectly captures the problem we're all facing, right? This isn't really about the jet itself. It's about the fact that we're constantly seeing a level of wealth that just completely warps our idea of what a normal life is supposed to look like.
And this is the absolute core of the issue. You know, keeping up with the Joneses used to mean just looking at your neighbor's new car. Everybody was kind of in the same boat financially. But today, our frame of reference has just exploded. It's the entire internet. And that is feeling something called lifestyle inflation on a scale we have never seen before.
So let's start by really understanding the forces we're up against. Because that feeling that you need to spend more and more, that's not a personal failing on your part, no way. It's a feature of the system, and it is absolutely built by design.
It all starts with something so innocent. So picture this. You're just browsing, maybe looking for a nice pair of leather boots. You think about it, you decide to wait, and you close the tab. Simple enough, right?
Well, the boots didn't forget about you. Suddenly, they pop up in your Instagram feed. Then they're in an ad right before a news article you're trying to read. That one little search has unleashed this whole sophisticated system designed to follow you around, creating this nagging sense of urgency, this desire that wasn't really there before.
And don't just take my word for it. This is a direct quote from someone who used to design these ad strategies. It is not fates telling you to buy the boots. It's a highly targeted algorithm, an invisible force engineered to make you believe you need something you probably only wanted for, like, a fleeting second.
So, the big question is, how do we fight back against all this? Well, it's not about finding some magic bullet. It all starts with a really fundamental shift in our mindset. It's about moving from just being smart with money to being wise.
And here's the key difference. Smart thinking? That's the mechanics. It's the how-to of budgeting or investing. It's essential, but it's all black and white. Wise thinking, though, that's about applying those rules to your real, messy, complicated life. It's navigating the gray areas, like figuring out how to politely say no to the 7th bachelorette party this year that you just can't afford. That's wisdom.
Okay, let's move on to a really crucial strategy for building a strong financial foundation, especially if you're building a life with a partner. It's a concept that sounds, well, a little taboo, but believe me, it is incredibly powerful.
And this story just illustrates the point perfectly. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. A dream apartment turns into a complete nightmare, costing an entire year's worth of savings. It's horrifying, right? But this disaster, it forced a conversation that otherwise might have taken years to happen.
And that disaster led directly to this: getting financially naked. It's that moment of total, radical honesty where you just lay it all out on the table. And we're not just talking about the numbers in your bank account. We're talking about what money means to you. It's all about aligning your values for the future you want to build together.
And this really gets to the heart of it. Financial success in a partnership isn't about finding someone who has a ton of money. Not at all. It's about finding someone whose financial values are actually compatible with yours. That shared understanding, that is the real currency.
All right, so we've covered mindset, we've covered relationships. Now let's talk about building a future that you're genuinely excited to wake up to. A future where work becomes a choice, not just a requirement.
First things first, we have got to completely reframe what retirement even means. Just forget that old picture of quitting work and doing nothing. The new goal, the real goal, is to get to a point where your time is truly your own. You can fill it with things that bring you joy and purpose, whether that happens to include work or not.
So how do you actually start planning for that optional future? Well, here's a powerful and honestly a refreshingly simple tool. It's the 50-30-20 budgeting method, and it gives you a super clear and balanced path forward.
Here's how it breaks down. 50% of your take-home pay goes to your essential needs. Rent, food, you know the drill. A full 30% is for your wants. This is the fun stuff. It's what makes life meaningful and stops you from burning out. And that critical 20%? That's for future you. This is the slice of the pie that builds your freedom.
And that 20% for future you is directly tied to this next idea, which might just be the most empowering calculation you can possibly make. It's all about figuring out your FU number. And it is exactly what it sounds like. This number, this is what unlocks true financial autonomy. It's the amount of capital that's working for you, generating enough income to live on so you can walk away from any job, any boss, or any situation that just no longer serves your life.
And here's how you can actually figure it out for yourself. First, imagine what your ideal year would cost. Be realistic, but hey, don't be afraid to dream a little bit. Then you take that annual number and you just divide it by 0.04. That's it. That is your target.
So why that specific number, 0.04? What's the magic there? Well, it's not just pulled out of thin air. It's based on something called the 4% rule, which is a long-standing guideline in finance. It basically represents a safe amount you can withdraw from your investments that, historically, should allow your portfolio to last for decades without running dry.
But honestly, the real power of calculating this number isn't just financial, it's psychological. It completely reframes your relationship with work and time. Every single dollar you save and invest isn't just a dollar anymore. It's a concrete step closer to a life where your decisions are guided by what you want to do, not what you have to do.
And really, that's the ultimate takeaway from all of this. This journey isn't just about hoarding money or hitting a target. It's about buying back your time, which is your most valuable asset. So the final question is, what would you do with all that freedom?